everyone. I recently discovered a bug slide and I wanted to showcase it here. So I'm going to be starting a new normal game. And this is to show that I can do this slide without having the sled, and that the sled is not necessary for a majority of the game. And I'll explain why. So by doing this bug slide, you enter a state of almost having no friction as long as you're on a sloped surface, and you maintain that speed until you run into something like a tree or rock, or you enter a different movement state. And what I mean by that is, like, if you're like swimming in water, for instance, that's a different movement state, and so you're no longer standing, walking, running, you're instead swimming. So that's a different animation set entirely. So the game kind of resets you and yada yada. So we're going to be started here on the beach. Wasn't super ideal, but I can still kind of showcase it here. So grab our stuff. Now the most ideal spot for this is going to be on top of the mountain. You can pretty much get anywhere from the top of the mountain within a couple minutes, where it would normally take 20 to 30, right? So what you need to do is have your booklet ready, right? So we're just going to open that. I like to go ahead and equip the GPS tracker, right? That way I typically know where I am, and I can quickly find out where I want to go if I was on top of the mountain. But the way this glitch works is when you open up your booklet here, you will enter a glitched state where if you start sliding on something, you'll keep that momentum, right? So if I start sprinting, and I stop sprinting, it stops in place, right? So I'm sprinting, and then I open up the booklet at the same time. I started to slide there slightly, right? So what's useful about this glitch is anytime you are falling from a height that would normally give you damage or anything of the sorts, you no longer take that damage, right? You also will maintain that speed falling down. So here I go falling, and I maintain that speed falling down. So if you hit a surface that's typically found on those hills and ridges and all that, you'll actually bounce off and keep that momentum and kind of fly down that hill. You'll typically run into a tree, so what I like to recommend is that you use rivers to your advantage. Rivers usually have two sides on the wall, and what you'll end up doing is you'll kind of just keep bouncing in between the rivers like this, and you kind of just bounce all the way down the river until you either hit a pocket of water, where then it'll force you to swim, or you'll hit a rock, and then you'll just have to kind of reset the glitch. But this is my tutorial on how to do the bug slide, so I'll hop back up to a location where I can kind of showcase it. So typically if I jumped and sprinted and took fall damage here, that's no good. So what we do is we sprint, open up the booklet last second, and we kind of got stuck there a little bit, but as you can see, I was in that bugged sliding state. So I can enter the state, kind of just keep sliding, and it's way faster than sprinting, right? So I got all the way up there to down here, in just a couple seconds, where sprinting, running and jumping, all that would have taken a little bit longer. So this slope, for instance, probably could get me a decent amount of speed. We're going to try real quick. That's a little bit faster than sprinting, but once I hit that real deep slope part, it's way faster than sprinting. I'm going to try and load a new save and see if I can demonstrate it better.